Sometimes a song isn't just a song, sometimes it's a door. BERGHAIN is one of those doors. From the outside, it looks like a club. From the inside, it's a threshold. It's not about getting in, it's about why you want to get in. And Rosalia asks us that question through sound, through visuals, through something that feels almost liturgical. BERGHAIN isn't just a track, it's an x-ray of a state of mind. It shares a name with Berlin's infamous club, but it's not about the club, it's about the door itself. Cultural gatekeeping. Being chosen, being rejected, being let in, having to prove you're different enough to enter. And realizing that in doing so, you become just like everyone else who made it in. That's the paradox of belonging. Today, identity works the same way. Algorithms, status, passports, faiths, they either let us in or lock us out. Maybe BERGHAIN simply wants us to hear the sound of that door. The anatomy of this music feels almost ritualistic, part cathedral, part rave, strings heavy as stone, choral shadows, and electronic pulse, as if prayer and dance begin at the exact same moment. And then the story begins. Rosalía enters her home. Quiet, sterile, a one-person apartment. On the table, a half-eaten apple. At the door, a statue of the Virgin Mary. The apple, the price of knowledge. Mary, the symbol of rebirth. In the very first frame, the axis is set. Sin and sanctity share the same room. Rosalía opens the curtains, and there an orchestra appears. But she doesn't notice. We do. That orchestra is her inner voice, the music inside her head. The sound of memory, grief, guilt, and conscience. Rosalía hasn't entered her home, she's entered herself. The orchestra are the voices in her mind like ours. The thoughts we can't silence, echoes of the past, our own inner critics. They're no longer guests, they're companions. Like the background score of everyday life. Something between a curse and a gift. There are moments when we wish someone could see us because loneliness can be so loud. When we dance alone or stare out the window, Rosalía's orchestra is the visual form of that inner monologue. Always there, never quiet, sometimes in harmony, sometimes dissonant. She irons a red skirt, the only color in frame. The color of sin, of desire. She washes clothes, makes the bed. But these ordinary chores turn into rituals. Because the orchestra never stops. Every action becomes an echo of music. Some say Rosalía plays a widow in this video, a woman who's lost her heart, and she says it herself. I keep so many things in my heart. That's why it's heavy. The heart is everywhere, the Sacred Heart painting on the wall, the doctor examining it, the tiny golden heart stuck to the floor. The heart is no longer the seat of the soul, but an object. She goes to a doctor, then a jeweler, neither can fix it. The heart becomes the anatomy of grief and the human obsession with repair. When she brings her heart to the jeweler, he shakes his head. Impossible. The heart is just a stone now and the soul beyond repair. When she looks down, she sees she's stepped on something. A small golden heart pressed to the floor. That scene says it all. We realize what we've lost only after we've already stepped over it. At the doctor's, her heart is measured the flat lines on the monitor. Can we fix feelings? That's the novel of 2025. We open and close emotions like devices. But Rosalía's gesture says, the heart can't be disassembled like a machine, but we keep trying, because admitting it's broken is harder. She walks outside. Crowds, city noise, but the orchestra is still with her. Because the music isn't from the outside, it's from within. You can't escape your own head. The orchestra follows her, not behind, but beside. The structure of the song mirrors that complexity. The London Symphony Orchestra, a German choir, and Björk's voice. But Björk isn't human anymore. She's a little red robin. Björk sings in English, Rosalía in Spanish and German. 3 languages, 3 selves, 1 consciousness. Language here isn't communication, it's the self multiplied. Multilingual, maybe even multi-faith. A confession that one version of me is never enough. Rosalía's voice echoes like a hymn. In German, she sings, Sein Angst ist meine Angst, his fear is my fear. Not empathy confession. We're all versions of this same fear. And BERGHAIN is the dance floor of that shared fear. So this isn't a rave, it's a renaissance, a rebirth of emotion. Only now, the priests are producers. When I first heard it, it reminded me of Bohemian Rhapsody. The dramatic structure, operatic tension, journey through identity. BERGHAIN feels like that same scream reborn in another voice. The same question, who am I? The same explosion, just on a different stage. This is a fusion of past and present, sacred and synthetic. Björk's mysticism, Eve Tumor's chaos, flamenco's blood, Berlin techno's steel. All in one pot, not to blend but to confront. One detail caught my eye, the single bed. After all the grandeur, it's the quietest frame and maybe the loudest. There's no space for the other. The stage is epic, the sound universal, but the bed is for one. It's not just loneliness, it's autonomy. The single bed isn't absence, it's a place of reflection. Where the transformation happens, where Rosalía turns into the bird. The fashion language of the video is almost a ritual, too. Stylist chose pieces from McQueen, Givenchy, Balenciaga. Not a runway, but a stitched history of faith. McQueen 2002, milkmaid harness dress. Sin and sacrifice woven together. McQueen 2003, rosary heels, pearl vest, devotion made flesh. Balenciaga 2004, luxury turned mundane. Givenchy 1997 white tulle and metal gown, the rebirth of the sacred woman. Each costume is a verse. Fashion becomes theology. Rosalía's change in looks mark her inner evolution. The setting, too, is symbolic. Warsaw. Between Catholic devotion and secular Europe. Berlin's BERGHAIN celebrates the freedom of the body. Warsaw disciplines the soul. Rosalía stands in between Western detachment and Eastern faith. And in that crack, the Sacred Heart glows again. In the end, she returns home. The orchestra gone. But the house isn't the same. The door as a jar light floods in. Birds, rabbits, nature. Snow White has returned to her own tale, but this time, no one saves her. She forgives herself. She closes her eyes and becomes a dove. A symbol of peace and surrender. BERGHAIN moved us all because it's not a song, it's an X-ray. Of society, of emotion, of faith in the digital age. Fatigue, rebellion, chaos, grief, acceptance, all vibrating on the same frequency. So what struck you the most? The single bed? The language shifts? The broken heart? Did you fix yours? Or did you just walk past the jewelers too? Leave a comment. Maybe we're all waiting at the same door, just with different headphones. The song is over, but the orchestra is still inside. Inside all of us. If you liked this video, subscribe. Let's hack the culture together.